How do corporate actors access legal services internally? I have spoken before about a legal procedures manual that colleagues can consider having in their organizations. But today I'm going to try to go in a little more detail as to um, the process of accessing legal services. Um, a legal department generally supports all the functions of the company, especially um, these companies that are always executing agreements and things like that. You'll find that the legal department is core support. It supports everybody. And what that means is that it has to keep changing hats. So if it's providing legal services to procurement, then it has to gear itself in the procurement zone. If it's a merger or acquisition, then it has to go into that zone. And therefore, it's very important for organizations to recognize that this particular department supports all the functions of the company. And so, for those who are providing that service, the expectation is that you will provide quality advice. And one of the ways to ensure that you're providing quality is to provide guidance on, for example, how colleagues will deposit their requests for legal assistance. And you'll find that where a department has a number of lawyers is very, very important, because it is not like a law firm. And even in a law firm, there is a managing partner and their associates and things like that. In an organization, um, like a company, there's also hierarchy in the legal department, meaning that the head of the department will take responsibility for what is happening in the department, and that person is expected to be able to allocate work to a colleague that will meet the expectations of the company in terms of performance. So I think what works for me in terms of depositing of requests, um, what works is if those requests are deposited centrally, um, preferably through the head of the department, so that that person can distribute that work within the directorate or department, and inform the colleagues who are requesting for that advice which lawyer will be handling their matter. I find it very useful. I also have a system where I am able to answer questions from my superiors regarding a certain case. And how do I do that? I have a system where at one point I will be kept in copy to see how the transaction is moving or how the instructions are being executed. I think another issue about internal access to legal services is that the person who has requested, or the officer that has requested for legal advice, it's presumed that this person is a technical person. So, for example, if it's a financing facility, you will be dealing with somebody in finance who is able to answer the technical questions. And therefore, when you are done as legal, you should ensure that you have the endorsement of the technical people. And sometimes you will differ with the technical person in terms of what the agreement should look like. Again, there should be a process where both parties are given an opportunity to deposit or to render their views on a particular issue. And where there's a difference, there's always an escalation procedure. And therefore, like I said in a previous video, having something like a legal procedures manual kind of evens the ground, so to speak. You don't want colleagues feeling as though the legal department is some mystic creature. I have heard before that, when a document goes into legal, then it doesn't come out until the legal people say it should come out. I think that is not a good way to collaborate with colleagues. Colleagues should form reasonable expectations, and what usually helps is some kind of procedure on how the legal directorate will interface with everyone else that it supports. I hope this tip helps, and thank you very much for your kind attention, and see you next time.